Well, good morning. I see some beautiful ladies coming online. Welcome to ABC Yoga. I'm Amy. My husband's coming. Of course, we'll see an occasional cat. And actually, we're going to start this morning standing. For those of you that don't know, the Buddhist monk Thich Nhat Hahn died over the weekend at 95. And he was well known, probably the second best known Buddhist practitioner outside of the Dalai Lama. He had a stroke in 2014, but died over the weekend at the age of 95. And one of my favorite quotes that he said is, "Walk as if your feet are kissing the earth with your feet." So in honor of Thich Nhat Hahn, we're gonna start with our feet kissing the earth this morning to start our grounding. So feet about hips distance apart, spread those toes wide. Imagine those toes kissing the earth. Let's just close our eyes. Slowly come into our breath. Just take your teeth, clean the inside and outside of the teeth with your tongue. And we'll gently take some gentle head rolls in one direction. Listening to the various sounds as your head rotates around. And we'll change direction. Finding that breath. Finish that last revolution. And we'll come to our shoulders, lifting them up towards our ears and back. 4 or 5 big rolls here. Just gently moving that prana, that life energy, stirring it up. If you haven't started rotating those shoulders in the opposite direction, please lift them up and around. Nice, and then we'll find some gentle twists. Opening up that spine. Last 4, 3, 2, 1, and then drawing those feet together, hands on your knees. Let's just move our knees, rotate them around. 5 or 6 directions. Good morning, Steph, Stacy, Nikki, Kanya, Diane. Beautiful. We'll change direction. Last 3, 2, 1, and then begin to open up those feet that are kissing the earth. So we'll come onto our toes. First, just gently bend those toes, wake them up. And then we'll find some gentle rolls. So it's a little easier on our mat than on that hardwood floor. And we'll change direction. Beautiful, and we'll finish the other side. So again, just stretching out those toes. Rolling them in one direction, and then we'll change direction. So waking up those feet. Gorgeous. And now we'll find a seated position. Find those sits bones, cross-legged, half lotus. We'll take those hands on our thighs and let's just begin to rotate our body around. So moving with our breath. So we inhale that heart forward. Exhale, we concave that belly. Finding that breath. So nice slow rolls to start off. Opening up that body, softening those shoulders. You can add those shoulders around. Be creative in your rolls. It's hard for me to talk and move my head and roll the body, so maybe you can add your head. Let's take 3 more rolls in this direction. Bill's got his head going. Looks good, bud. Then we'll change direction. So the heart reaches forward. On the exhale, pound that body, connect with that core. softening that jaw. Really rooting those sits bones. Beautiful. Let's take 3 more revolutions. Last 2. Gorgeous. And we'll finish that last round. And let's come to the center. Wow, I can already feel that energy. We'll bring our prayer to our heart center. Bow your forehead to the tips of your fingers. And we set that intention or dedication, prayer, mantra, whatever just bubbles to the surface this morning. Or maybe from Thich Nhat Hahn, imagining kissing the earth with your feet all day. We'll open up our eyes and let's move and transition into our downward dog. So we pedal out those feet, shake out that head. And keeping your hands where they are, we'll just walk our feet, about 1 foot or 1.5 feet closer. So we have that truncated version, and we'll cross the right hand towards the left ankle, bend those knees as much as you need to. We'll shake out that head again. The right hand on the floor, and we'll take the other side. Left hand on the right ankle. Maybe your heel, drop the head. Gaze under the shoulders. And we'll release that left hand to the floor. Walk your feet back into that downward dog. And we're going to take a deep, deep bend in the knees, working into those hip creases, and then lift up those legs. 3 more like that. So a little different than keeping the shins parallel. I want a deeper crease in those hips. Lift those sits bones, eyes towards the back of the mat. 2 more. Deep bend in those knees. We lift those sits bones, heels to the floor. And 1 more like that. Knees bend out. We find that deep hip crease. We lift those sits bones and we'll spin our toes in one direction. And then now we'll drop those hips towards the floor. Nice work, beautiful. We lift up, spin our toes in the opposite direction, and drop those hips down. Nice, we're breathing. Gorgeous, and we'll now walk our hands back towards our toes. Another deep bend in those knees. Reach for opposite elbows. Crown of the head pours to the earth. Find those 4 corners of the feet. We're still finding that deep bend in the knees. Finding that breath. And gently sway side to side. Swallow a few times. And then we'll release our hands, walking your dog forward. And we'll find that high plank, first high plank of the morning. So we reach our heart forward. Let's lift up that back body. Navel is engaged, straighten through those elbows. Breathe here for 3, for 2, on 1. Lift those sits bones, eyes towards the back of the mat. Readjust those toes, turn in just slightly. We bend those knees as much as we need to. Next inhalation, we find that high plank again. This time we'll add alternating our hands towards our shoulders. So we're breathing, trying not to move that lower body very much. Those hands are directly underneath those shoulders. We have 4 more. Last 3, 2, 1. Lift those sits bones, eyes towards the back of the mat. Finding that breath. Shake out that head. Now we'll inhale the high plank again. Drawing that chest over those fingers. We'll alternate lifting the toes. So breathing here. Just lifting the feet 2 or 3 inches. Alternating. Take your time. Warming up the body. Let's take 4 more. Last 3, 2, and 1. Lift those sits bones, eyes towards the back of the mat. On our next inhalation, we find our way to high plank. Option to take those knees to the earth, untuck the toes, and just allow your body weight to draw you all the way to the floor. Forehead to the mat. Squeeze those elbows in, opening up the tops of the feet. We move from the back of our heart, finding our baby cobra. So just take your time. And then forehead to the floor. We'll find baby cobra again, but this time we come to our finger pads. We're on the outside of our mat. Inhale, finding that baby cobra. So maybe finding a little extra lift. You pause where you find that restriction. Forehead to the floor. And one more. Maybe take your finger pads a little further out. We inhale to that baby cobra. And I'll gaze over my right shoulder, over my left, over the right shoulder. Beautiful, over that left shoulder. Eyes towards the back of the mat. Let's bring our hands in line with our chest. Tuck those toes under. We press through high plank. Beautiful downward dog on the exhalation. Shake out that head. We'll extend that right leg high. Bend the knee, stack the hip. Yawn that right knee up towards the sky. Then we extend that right leg, step it forward into our warrior 1. Ride that breath up. Let's connect those hands and then release the hands to the floor. Right leg back. Let's take our first vinyasa, high to low plank. A cobra or upward dog. Downward dog, eyes towards the back of the mat. Left leg lifts. We bend the knee and stack that hip. Really flex that left foot. Straighten through that leg, step it forward into our warrior 1. Inhale. Soles of the palms connect. Then we slowly release the hands. Left leg back, your vinyasa, high to low. A cobra or up dog. Downward dog, eyes towards the back of the mat. Shake out that head. Sipping that breath in and out through the nose. Maybe take a slight bend in those knees. Lift those sits bones a little higher. And after these next couple breaths, see if you can draw those heels a little closer to the mat. Those arms are engaged. We're straightening through those elbows. Please take one more breath in. We let it go. Bend the knees, step or hop to the top. Halfway lift. And we fold forward. Inhale, ride that breath high. And we'll bring our hands to our heart center as we fold forward. Take your time. We find that halfway lift. Step or jump those feet back. High to low plank. Elbows hug in. We find that cobra or up dog. We'll meet in downward dog, eyes towards the back of the mat. That right leg lifts. We bend the knee and stack that hip. That right leg extends. Now we'll take our knee to our nose. Exhale, extend. 3 more like that. We breathe in, our shoulders over the wrists. Exhale, extend. 2 more. Activating that core. We lengthen and point through the toes. Last one, knee to our nose. Look between your hands, finding warrior 1 and ride that breath high. Soles of our palms connect. And then we cycle through our vinyasa. Right leg back, high to low. A cobra or up dog. We'll meet in downward dog, eyes towards the back of the mat. Shake out that head. Other side, that left leg lifts. We bend the knee, left hip on top of the right. We extend that left leg. On an inhale, draw the knee to the nose. We round that back body. Exhale, extend through the toes. 3 more. Take your time, move with your breath. Exhale the air completely as you extend. We breathe in. And long exhale. Last one here. Knee to nose. Look between the hands. We find our warrior one. Come all the way up. And then cycle through your vinyasa. Gorgeous. That left leg back. High to low plank. A cobra or up dog. We'll meet in downward dog. Eyes towards the back of the mat. Steady rhythmic breathing. Notice what's connected to the floor. Let the back of the neck lengthen. Just enjoy that breath this morning. Please take one more inhale. We let it go. We bend the knees, walk or hop to the top of the mat, halfway lift, fold forward. Let's sit into that chair. Just one breath here. Full breath in, full breath out as we bring our hands to our heart and fold. Halfway lift. Step or jump those feet back, high to low plank, taking our time. A cobra or up dog. We'll meet in downward dog, eyes towards the back of the mat. We lift that right leg again. Bend the knees, stack the hips. Stay here or find your wild thing. So right foot to the floor, sits bones lift, or hip bones lift, right hand up and over. Steady breathing. Shake out that head. 2 more breaths. We take one more inhale. On an exhale, watch that right hand as it comes to the floor. That right leg lifts. Inhale, take your knee to your nose. Exhale, extend. 3 more. We take our time, breathe in, round that back body. Exhale, extend. Last 2. We lengthen. Last one, we take our knee to our nose, step that leg forward, ride that breath high all the way up into warrior 1. Now let's open into warrior 2. Pause and breathe. Opening up those collarbones. Lines of energy out through those fingertips. Let's sit a little deeper here. Tracking that right knee open. Sit a little deeper. 2 more breaths. Just building those sensations in that right thigh. Last full inhale. We let it go. Hands to the mat. Right leg back. Your vinyasa. Find your breath. 1 movement per breath. We'll meet in downward dog. Eyes towards the back of the mat. Our left leg lifts. We bend the knee and stack the hips. Extending that left knee a little higher and finding our wild thing. So the left foot to the floor. Our hip bones lift. Left hand up and over. Find that breath. Shake out that head. We're lifting that front body a little higher. Take 1 more inhale. On an exhale, watch that left hand as it hits the floor. The left leg extends. On an inhale, we draw that knee to the nose. Exhale, extend. Take your time, breathe in. Exhale completely. Warming the body with our breath, that Ujjayi warrior breath. Exhale completely. Last one, knee to our nose. We shift our eyes between our hands, step that leg forward, ride that breath all the way up into warrior 1. And let's open into warrior 2. So drop into those hips. Those feet are kissing the earth. Drop a little deeper. Soften those shoulders away from your ears. Now hug those muscles into those bones. Lines of energy out through the fingertips. Track that left knee over the left thigh. And your vinyasa, beautiful. Hands to the mat, left leg back, high to low. A cobra or up dog. We'll meet in downward dog, eyes towards the back of the mat. Finding that breath. From the inner landscape of your body, can you feel the expansion with each inhalation and exhalation? Those side ribs move out. The body expands. Please take one more inhale. We let it go. Bend those knees. Step or hop to the top. Halfway lift. We fold forward and find that chair. Hips are heavy, our heart lifts, we extend through those fingertips. Now everyone take a look at those toes. You should see all 10 toes. Our tail is tucked under. Now let's lift those hands a little higher. Gorgeous. We'll bring our prayer to our heart. Full inhale, deep twist to the right. Left elbow outside that right knee. Let's expand those hands. The left hand's gonna stay just hovering above the floor, and we'll just bring that right hand down to meet the left. So we inhale with our breath, we expand, take the hand to the floor, and we exhale. 3 more. We're opening up that chest. Watch that right hand as it meets the left. Last 2 on this side, fingers towards the floor. Those toes are soft. Last breath in, right hand lifts, and we'll bring the hand towards the left hand and come back to center. We'll go to the other side. Full breath in, and we'll twist to the left. Right elbow outside that left knee. Expand those hands. Now the left hand's going to do all the work. So just exhaling it out. Hands just hover right in front of one another. Then we inhale, expand. Exhale, we lower. We're breathing, lengthening. Nice exhale, releasing. Let's take 3 more. Really warming up the body. Last 2. Let's make this our best one yet. We inhale, expand. Then we bring that left hand to the right. Bring your hands to your heart center. Now fold forward. Crown of the head towards the mat. We find that halfway lift. Step or jump those feet back. Take your time, high to low. A cobra or upward dog. Downward dog, eyes towards the back of the mat. One last time, that right leg lifts. We bend the knee, we stack those hips. We stay here or take wild thing for just 1 full breath in. Lift those hips. Finish that exhalation. We watch that right hand as it hits the floor. The right leg extends up towards the sky. Same sequence we'll just add on. So we take the knee to the nose. Exhale, extend. Slow down that breath. Exhale, we lengthen. Breathe in. Exhale. Last one here, knee to our nose. We look between our hands. We find our warrior 1. And we open into our warrior 2. So we'll find our archer this morning. So that left hand comes to the right. We draw that arrow back, shoot it, and then open, drop those hips. 3 more. Left hand to right. We pull that string back, shoot that arrow, expand, and deepen. Gorgeous. 2 more. Hands together, draw that arrow back, shoot, and drop into those thighs. Last one. We pull that string back, shoot that arrow, expand, and we'll reverse. Right hand up and over. Maybe take that left hand in the outside of the right hip. Fan those right ribs open. Steady breathing. Keep that right knee tracking forward. Last inhale. On an exhale, hands to the mat. Gorgeous, that right leg back. High to low plank. A cobra or up dog. We'll meet in downward dog, eyes towards the back of the mat. The other side, we lift that left leg high, bend the knee, stack the hips. Stay here or wild thing for 1 breath. So the left foot comes to the floor. We lift those hips, full breath in and full breath out. Watch that left hand as it hits the mat. Left leg lifts back up towards the sky. And on an inhale, we take that knee to the nose. Exhale, extend. We breathe in, shift that weight forward, take your time. Exhale, push that leg away. Last two. Exhale. Last one, inhale, knee to the nose. Look between your hands and find your way all the way up into warrior one. And we'll open into warrior two. So drop into those hips, soften those shoulders away from the ears. Again, lines of energy out through those fingertips. So our feet are still kissing the earth, and we'll draw now that right hand to the left. Pull that string back, shoot your arrow, and expand as we drop into those hips. 3 more. So we're breathing, pulling that hand back, shoot the arrow, expand and drop into those hips. Last 2. We breathe in, shoot, open, and drop. Gorgeous. Last one here. Hands together. We shoot that arrow. We expand, drop into those hips. And now let's reverse our warrior. Left hand high. The right hand maybe finds that left hip crease. So drop a little deeper into those thighs. Make sure that left knee is tracking over the left big baby toe. Can you fan those ribs a little wider? And then your vinyasa. Hands to the mat, left leg back, high to low. A cobra or upward dog. We'll meet in downward dog, eyes towards the back of the mat. So keep your hands where they are. Let's walk our feet forward, keeping them hips distance apart. We find those peace fingers around the big toes. Reach that heart forward. Now open up those collarbones. Just stay here for a few breaths. Those knees can be as bent as they need to. Our core is engaged. Now let's drop our head. Fan those elbows out to the side. Shake out that head side to side. Steady breathing. Slow down that breath. Maybe a 4 or 5 count inhale and a 4 or 5 count exhale. Staying hanging onto those toes. We slide our hands underneath our feet, or maybe take those hands behind. Opposite elbows or wrist creases. Crown of the head towards the floor. Just play that edge. Find that resistance. We back off a little bit, allow that body to soften so it can open slowly, peacefully, safely. One last breath here. Complete that exhale. Release the hands. We'll take our hands to the floor, and like we did at the beginning of class, we'll take that modified downward dog. So that modified puppy, shake out that head and take that left foot into the center of the mat. The right leg lifts. We'll take a quick balance posture here. We stack that right hip over the left. So both hands are now rooted to the floor. We come onto the finger pads of that left hand. Stay here. We're working on a balance posture this morning. You take that left hand maybe towards that right heel or ankle, finding that foot in space. There it is. Find that breath. And we'll slowly lower that right leg down, and we'll take the other side. So that right foot comes into the center of the mat. We're in that truncated downward dog. The left leg lifts. We bend the knee, stack the hips like we did earlier today. Stay here. If we're working on that balance, maybe just find the finger pads, or we go a little further, taking the hand off the floor, Maybe finding that foot in space. So the heel, the ankle. Breathe for 3, for 2. On 1, we release everything in our downward, in our child's pose. So beautiful work so far. Drop those hips. Nice wide stance with the knees. Maybe taking hands on top of one another, forehead to the mat. Take a big breath in and just flutter those lips like a horse. Relaxing that face. We'll take 2 more like that. We breathe in. Gorgeous. 1 more like that. We breathe in. Pause and breathe. So finding that stillness. Just coming back to our senses. Feeling what body parts are touching the floor, our clothing. We open up our ears to the various sounds. Taste inside the mouth. Noticing the sensations at the nose. And finally, that internal vision. Expanding that inner landscape. Clearing out the cobwebs. Letting go of tension, stress. Please take 1 more breath in. We let it go. We'll slowly rise up, cross those ankles, find those sits bones, and let's just give ourselves a hug this morning. So wrap those arms around your legs, forehead towards the knees. Breathe into that back body. Feel your feet kissing the earth. We'll lift our head. Let's begin to work a little more of our core. So a couple of options here. Hands can be supported behind you as you draw your knees in and out. There's always the option to bring your prayer to your heart center. So be kind to your body if you're working with injuries. Squeeze, really find that squeezing in, and we lengthen, extend. Last 7. Soften the jaw, unhinge that jaw here. Notice in this posture, I begin to grip my teeth instead of working those abs. Let's take 4 more. Last 3. Gorgeous. Last 2. And 1. Hug those knees in. Let's just take those feet flat again. And another big hug. Forehead to the floor. Soften those shoulders away from your ears. So we're stoking that fire. Let's add a little more kindling to that fire this morning. So we hover those feet off the mat, support under those knees, or extend those arms, or again, maybe 1 foot up or both foot high. So move from that belly. And you're adding kindling there, stirring up that fire, audible breathing. 2 more breaths. Another inhale. We cross our ankles, hands by our hips. You can use those feet to lift the sits bones off the floor. Round number 2. So really draw that breath to the belly. Our heart is lifted. We support those legs as we needed. We don't round, but lift that heart. Beautiful. Cross opposite ankles, hands by your hips. Maybe lift your bottom off the mat. Round number 3. And you're stoking that fire. Cross opposite ankle. And last round, stay with me. So strong. That fire is blazing now. Soften through the jaw, looking great. Cross opposite ankle, and you'll cycle through your vinyasa. High plank to low, a cobra or upward dog. Nice downward dog, exhale, and just drop your knees to the floor. Untuck those toes, walk your hands underneath your shoulders. A few cat-cows here. We exhale that air completely, shake out that head. Inhale, reach your heart forward. Exhale, navel draws to the spine. Breathe in. Exhale the air completely. 2 more. Really articulating the spine. Our tail tucks under, our head releases. Take 1 more inhale. Exhale the air completely. And let's thread the needle. So taking that left hand in the center of your mat, that right arm extends again. Let's just scoop it under. Take that right ear to the floor. And walk that left hand to the top of the mat. So feeling all of our toenails. Quick body scan. Gentle twist. Can you soften your face? Last breath here. Gorgeous, we let it go and ride that breath high. And release that right hand down. We'll take the other side. So that left hand spins high and we just thread that needle. Scoop that hand under, take that left ear to the floor, walk that right hand to the top of the mat. Again, feeling those toenails, opening up the tops of the feet. Can you press the shins to the floor? Maybe feel the shins as they connect with the mat. Soft, rhythmic breathing. Last 2. And on 1, we'll take that left hand high, lower that left hand down. We'll tuck those toes under, lift those sits bones. And we'll walk our hands and feet towards one another. Bend those knees, shake out that head, and unwind that spine. We'll extend the arms up overhead and bring our prayer to our heart center, Samastitihi. So finding our chair, fingers towards the floor, reach the arms up overhead, and we'll find our eagle. First eagle of the year. So taking that right thigh up and over, wrap those legs around, spin those knees to the center, and let's open up those shoulders a little more by lifting those elbows and pressing the forearms towards the front of your space. So using that peripheral vision of your eyes, soften them, squeeze those thighs a little deeper. We're sitting tall. Relax the jaw. 2 more breaths here. Last full inhale. On an exhale, release the arms and the legs, full breath in. And we'll just bring that prayer to our heart center, Samastitihi. Other side, so starting in our chair position, we reach our heart high, and we'll take that left arm underneath the right. Guys, look gorgeous this morning. So those elbows are lifted. We take that left thigh up and over. Maybe find that extra wrap with the foot. Now spin those knees into the center. Tuck that tail so you're sitting tall, like you're sitting in a chair. We're squeezing those thighs. We're lifting those elbows and pushing the forearms towards the front of your space. Again, just soften those eyes, use your peripheral vision. Can you sit a little taller? Squeeze those thighs a little closer towards one another. We'll gently release. And in one movement, we'll find our eagle again on the right side. So just one swift movement, thigh up and over, right arm under. Stack those. I'll do the side version because our tendency is to lean forward. You want to sit tall, eyes eye level, stacking those bones. So we stay here, or let's draw those elbows in towards the knee, and then gently lift. 3 more like that. We breathe in, and you can hold this posture or find some movement. Last 2. And last 1. Those elbows are coming towards the knees. We lift those hands. Now option to unwrap that leg into the eagle arms, Virabhadrasana 3. Take your time, slight bend in that left knee. Heart is lifted. And with that next breath, we'll take that right thigh up and over. Pause for 1 beat. Then we gently release. We'll just bring our prayer to our heart, Samastitihi. So last side, on an inhale, in 1 breath, that left thigh up and over, left elbow under. So I'll take the side view again. So notice where that weight is. Are you leaning forward? We tuck our tail and find that tall spine. Soften those shoulders. Stay here, or we'll start by moving those elbows towards the knees. You really round that back body, engage that core, then inhale. Take your time coming all the way up. Readjust if you need to. Otherwise, we're moving with our breath. Are you breathing? Last 2. Take your time. Eyes lift. Last 1 here, that moving eagle. We lift, stay here, or unwrap that thigh into Virabhadrasana, warrior 3 with the eagle arms. Taking flight. And with control, we take that last wrap and release. Beautiful. Inhale and fold forward, Uttanasana. Halfway lift, step or jump those feet back, high to low. Cobra or upward dog. Downward dog, exhale. Drop onto your forearms. And we'll find a forearm plank here for a few breaths. Navel is engaged. You can interlace your hands or press your forearms, hands released to the floor. So lift that back body. Elbows underneath those shoulders. Unhinge that jaw. Last 3 breaths. Last 2. And we release to the ground on 1. Let's take that right ear down. Full breath in. Just sigh it out. Ah. 1 more inhale. Let that sleep out of the body. Ah. We'll take the opposite ear to the mat. Full inhale. Sigh it out. Ah. 1 more breath. Nice long exhale. We'll come back to neutral. We'll bend those knees. And just windshield them side to side, warming up that lower body, our backs. So setting up for our floor bow. So we'll take 2 this morning. So we always ride the breath in this posture. So taking time to get into that full expression. So those, you're reaching, using the strap, hanging onto your ankles, tops of the feet. Just draw those heels in, get that quadricep stretch. On the next breath, our heart lifts. We take our thighs off the floor. We find that first resistance. Let a little air out. Then we add some more breath into the body, finding that buoyancy. Squeeze a little air out. Then breathe in, full expression. Soft breathing, rhythmic breathing. full expression. And we'll gently release. Take that right ear down. We'll just windshield wiper those feet side to side. Maybe lick those lips. Feeling the back of the hands. So we're setting up for last floor bow this morning. So same setup. Maybe have a little playfulness this morning. I'm going to crisscross my wrists. So my right hand is reaching for the left ankle, left hand reaching for the right. So exhale all the air out. So we'll first start by lifting our chest, like in Shalabhasana, then take the thighs off the floor. Exhale some of the air out, then inhale. More buoyancy, more air in that internal landscape. Exhale a little air out. Now that full expression, more weight into the ribs, and we release. Take that opposite ear to the floor. Let's last time windshield wiper those feet side to side. And we'll just spin onto our back bodies. All set for our bridge and full wheel. So we hug those knees in. Draw those knees into your chest. And take the forehead towards our knees. And setting up for our bridge. So our feet parallel to our mat. We turn our palms up. Feel those shoulders as they connect with the floor. We're going to keep those shoulders pinned as we just roll those hips up towards the sky. Tuck those shoulders in, tuck those wings in. Maybe feel those heels. Breathe into the front of the body. Lift those hip points. And warming up those calves, we'll just lift our heels and pulse our feet. And keep those heels lifted so the front body is a little higher, keeping the front body where it is. Can you slowly descend those heels down? And then slowly unwind the spine. Upper back, middle back, lower back. And tuck that pelvis under. Walk those knees to the width of your mat and just have those knees kiss. And we'll take our hands on our heart center. Imagine walking the rest of the day with our feet kissing the earth. Thich Nhat Hahn was really instrumental in bringing mindfulness into the general population. And he would use mindfulness as he walked, just being present with every step. Something for us to think about today, every day actually. So let's just open up those knees. We'll take one more bridge or full wheel. I'm going to stick with bridge this morning. Full wheel, hands underneath your shoulders. Otherwise, just lift those hip points, walk those shoulders underneath, and maybe modify your bridge or full wheel. So taking a leg up, or maybe crossing the ankle on the thigh. Soften through that jaw, the face is relaxed. Steady breathing in and out through the nose. Just changing sides if you've modified. If you're in full wheel, 2 more breaths. Take that final full inhale. And everyone together, we unwind that spine. And find the soles of our feet together into Supta Baddha Konasana. Gently opening up those inner groins. We'll take both hands on our belly. Find that breath. One more inhale. Let it go. We'll take our hands outside those knees, zip those knees together, and let's rock that back body. Couple of rocks. Let's just rock into a seated position with that right knee bent. Left foot flexed. We'll extend the right hand up towards the sky and take the thumb towards the floor and the inside of that right leg and working on that bind. So maybe you just get your hand around here. You can use a strap and maybe find that connection, hand to the finger pads, wrists, etc. We lift our hearts and draw your chin towards that left shin. Soften through the jaw. 2 more breaths here. One more inhale. Let it go. We lift our hearts, release that bind, and just take that right foot now on the outside of the left knee. That left leg can be extended or draw that left heel in towards the right buttock. That left hand reaches high and we take that elbow outside the knee as we twist to the right. We breathe in and we twist. Inhale and twist. Option to take that left hand in that right underneath that right knee. You can find that bind, maybe extend that leg, full breath in, and we twist. Last inhale, and we twist. Let it go, take that counter twist, and we'll come back to center. So extending those legs. And we start by bending that left knee, flex the right foot. Left hand reaches high, take that left thumb to the floor, and we're just playing with the bind. So again, maybe your hand gets stuck here. Great time to use a strap to help find that connection. That right foot is flexed. We find that inhale and bring your chin towards that right chin. Both sits bones are rooted. 2 more breaths here. Energetically drawing that chin towards the shin. Last inhale. We complete that exhale. Inhale, we lift. Now just take that left foot outside the right knee. Again, option to keep that right foot extended, or we bring that heel towards that left sits bones. The right hand lifts, and we draw that elbow outside the knee as we twist over that left shoulder. We breathe in, and we twist. Hi, Kristen. Inhale, and we twist. You want to take that bind, maybe find that connection. You can extend that leg. It's a little more challenging for me on this side. 2 more breaths. We twist. Last inhale, twist. We'll find that counter twist in the other direction and come back to center. Just take both feet up towards the floor, hands behind the back body, and we'll find that reverse tabletop. So use all 4 corners of the feet. Those hip bones are lifted. Open up the head and throat. Straightening through those elbows, lift that front body a little higher. And we'll slowly lower those sits bones to the floor, extend those legs, and finding that forward fold. A full breath in. And reach those hands forward, soften through those knees into our Paschimottanasana. Shoulders soften away from your ears. 2 more breaths. Last full inhale. We let it go. Slowly unwind that spine and take that back body to the floor. We'll find that happy baby. Hands on the inside of the feet, just gently rock side to side. And keep that left knee bent, just reach that right leg straight, reaching through that heel. And we'll draw that heel in and extend the other leg. Keep that left leg where it is. We'll just open both legs into that straddle. And take your hands outside the ankles, zip those legs together, and we'll take 15 seconds just to shake all of that extra energy out. So just let everything be loose. Last 10 seconds, really shake it out, getting ready for Shavasana. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and on 1. Soften, let go, and just be. Find that next full breath in. We gently sigh out. We dance our toes and fingers awake. Stretch our arms up over our head. And gently let it go. As we hug those knees in, staying in Shavasana for a few more breaths. We're finding that comfortable seated position. Eyes soft or closed. And a quote from Thich Nhat Hahn this morning. Whatever the situation, we cannot make peace unless we ourselves are peaceful. When the crowded refugee boats met with storms or pirates, if anyone panicked, all would be lost. But if even one person on the boat remained calm and centered, it was enough. They showed the way for everyone to survive. So let's bring our hands to our heart center, bowing our forehead to the tips of our fingers, and inviting you all to imagine kissing the earth with our feet this morning for the day as we walk on the earth. And let's close class with one beautiful Om. Sit in the inhale. The light within me honors and recognizes the light within all of you. Thank you for joining us, and namaste. Thank you for the modified dust in the wind. I guess we are just dust in the wind.
Yeah, we're kissing.
And kissing the earth with our feet. Thank you all for joining. Nice to see you guys. Have a beautiful day.
Thanks, Amy.